buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back? Yep.
Yeah,
Of course, definitely. Well, here's our card. The location is on the back.
It's McDonald's?
What?
What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's.
Buttermilk.
This is Brad Atwell and Coach Jeff Griffith on Ask the Coach back on WCOU Sports. If you would like to check out the podcast of Ask the Coach each week, WCOU will post that podcast with game film after the show airs live on the radio, and you can watch that video at watchwcou.com or just go to wcouradio.com and click on the video link. And we want to thank McDonald's here in Glasgow for sponsoring McDonald's Ask the Coach podcast with game film each week. And so go online and watch that if you don't get to listen to the whole podcast here with me and Coach Griffith today. Coach Griffith, just coming back, we kind of talked about the summary of the game. There were some highlights of the game last night. It's like we said in that third quarter. We go back and look, and we run the ball, we threw the ball some. So we kind of had the package going there, especially in the third quarter, where we were able to move the ball down the field. Hughes connected on two or three big plays there. He not only connected with Mabe. Mabe had 5 catches for 83 yards with a touchdown. Mason Perkins had 1 catch there for 2 yards. Gibson Lowe had 3 catches for 19 yards. 2 of those were some great catches that caused us to move the chains. So there were some positive things that happened last night. And, just to be able to build on that, and like you said, if we could put all that together, if we could put all the positives we've done over these last 4 games into a game, what a night.
Well, I thought again, it goes back to consistency with us on both sides of the ball, but especially on the offensive side. And I thought we did a good job last night. We really made it a point of emphasis that, we've got to get other people involved in our passing game. And, of course, Gibson, as you said, stepped up and caught 3 balls last night. And on 2 of the 3, he moved the sticks for us and got a first down. And, and that's what we've got to do, and we've got to have. Of course, I made it a point of emphasis to tell Andrew that we've got to go somewhere else. No matter whether the outcome is positive or negative, we've got to start going with the ball everywhere. And I think that you saw last night that after he went somewhere else and the guys made the plays for him, he gained a little confidence in them, and we're going to have to continue to build on that. And I thought that Andrew played really well last night. I don't have any qualms at all. I mean, he was probably, I think they said 10 or 11 for 25. And
10 of 25.
10 of 25.
Yards.
And
yep.
I know he had at least, 3 drops from his wide receivers. And on the 2 interceptions he threw, they were both balls that should have been caught and that were tipped in the air. And, that our receivers should have made plays on. So, I'm pleased with his play last night. And the main thing that he did is that, I thought he stayed positive the entire time, when things weren't going well in the first half, and that's what we've got to have. And it also, in saying that, I thought our pass protection was really good last night. Our offensive line did a good job of pass protection and gave him time to throw and find those guys. And, we're a work in progress still. Again, we want to win all of them. Everybody's trying to win and fight their tails off.
Sure.
But we're all we're trying to find ourselves and what we're going to be good at by the time we start our district games, and hopefully we'll be playing our best football when that time rolls around. And, we've got 2 more games before that actually starts, and hopefully we can win them. But the main thing is that we're trying to find ourselves, get better on both sides of the ball, find some consistency. I can't say that enough. Find consistency throughout 4 quarters of a football game.
Yeah. If we could ever put together an entire game, we'll see some bright spots usually early. And again, last night, I hate to go back and rehash, but I think, I had a flashback to the Taylor County game. I had a flashback to the Midcalf game. I had a flashback to the Glasgow game where we drive the ball down the field, or we have an opportunity to put the ball in, and we have that penalty that backs us up. And that the style of ball that we're playing, that makes it tough to get it into the end zone. And but I like what you said. You're getting some other people involved in the passing game. Once Gibson Lowe made a couple catches there last night, he threw that little short pass there to Mason. They had to cover those receivers at that point. and no longer was there double team over on Mabe, and that got him loose. And got him in man coverage where that we're able to score the touchdown.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to what we're talking about. We have to get other people involved, and and if they're going to do that and double team us out there with Nick, other people have got to step up and make plays, and not only that, our quarterback has to have confidence in going to those other people, and last night we made some progress in those areas, and the thing is though is I keep going back to consistency on our offensive line, consistency in what we're doing on the perimeter and blocking on the perimeter and running routes and all that stuff, and we're getting there. We're 4 games into it now, and by next week we all of us, we are what we are, and we just got to keep building. And with us, we've got these next 2 weeks to continue to try to get other people involved to get those guys better and get going.
As I was thinking about last night and when watching the film this morning, what I began to see is, and what I've known for a long time. There's 11 guys out there on that field on offense, and there's 11 guys on defense. And if there's any person who does not do their job and execute what they're supposed to, that's a breakdown. And when that breakdown happens, not that this is a supreme sport, but it's the way the game is played. If you have a breakdown in basketball, there may be a guy that's going to drive the basket, but hopefully you're going to have somebody that's going to step over in his way. In football, if you break down at the line of scrimmage, then you better hope that your secondary is going to be there to make that tackle, because once that breakdown happens at the line of scrimmage, you've given that guy an open field, a running back or a receiver or whoever misses their assignment, and that gives you an opportunity for a big play.
Well, football's the ultimate team game. I think you'll hear a lot of people say that, and it is because there's so many people involved on each side of the ball. I mean, you're talking about 11 guys that all have to do their job, or you're going to get exposed, and that's what it's about. And working as a team and everyone pulling on the same oar, so it all works together, and that's what we've got to continue to work on.
Last night, total offense, 57 plays, 188 yards. We rushed 26 times for 80 yards, passed 10 times for 108 yards. We had 10 first downs, 2 touchdowns, one in the air that Nick caught, another one on the ground where we had drove the ball down the field. Stanton comes in with some fresh legs, and the second time he touches it, there's a nice hole over on the left side, and he runs in for that second score last night. Defensively, defensively, I think we did. Like you said, there were some bright spots defensively last night as well. There was there in the first half, they drove that ball down, and we were able to hold them to a field goal. I felt like that was a win. Caused two turnovers, like you said earlier, off of the hit, where Jordan Hill and Zach Sneed both forced a fumble last night. At one time there, I know that they were in a third and long situation. Cody Blakely comes off of the edge, makes a big sack that gave us some momentum. And we've got to capitalize on that on defense. On offense. Once that defense makes that play to come on, and just as we look at that, it's like goes back to what you said again and again and again. Consistency. Once somebody makes a big play, let's come behind them. Let somebody else make another play. And every play we make don't have to be a big play, but just everybody needs to do their job, and we just need to be efficient.
Very true, and I also think that last night we were in the bend but don't break mode of defense. We gave up a lot of yards. I think we gave up a little over 300 yards rushing, and that's way too much. But they really didn't have a lot of points per se. They probably could have stuck another one in there at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, because they'd driven it down there and they ended up taking some knees. But at that point, we're just selling out, trying to stop it and all that type stuff. But they scored 28. And one of them was an interception return off the hands of our receiver, and it's just we bent but we didn't break, so to speak. That's all I'm saying. And we got to do a better job of getting off the field. And some of those drives, as we said, were the results of we had some penalties that kept some of their drives alive, and but we can't make those penalties. We've got to get off the field on third down and do a better job. But we'll get better and keep working.
All right, Coach. Folks, you stay with us. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with you on Ask the Coach with Coach Jeff Griffith on WCOU Sports.